Picking up from where we left off yesterday on the previous video, we're going to continue on with our site plan. One of the things I did want to do is kind of balance out the look of this design. Right now we have a building where the garage looks just as large as the actual building. So we're going to expand the building a little bit just so it doesn't look so even. Alright, so we're just going to take this. We're going to drag this building out a little bit. So let's drag it out to, let's go with about 54 feet. Let's make it a little bit bigger. We're not going to worry about making adjustments in the kitchen or anything. We'll just leave that as is. Alright, and we'll take a look at it, and the roof should have moved with it. The only downfall is that this part moved and really didn't want it to. So we'll have to kind of make a readjustment on that. So we'll edit the footprint of the roof. Go to level 2. I edit the wrong one. I have to edit this one. Alright. So we're just going to move it. And you can pick all of your lines. You have to hold down the shift key or the control key to pick that last one. Yep, control. Alright, so we'll just do move. Or, you know what? Let's make it easier. We'll just adjust it manually. It'll be much easier. So we'll do that instead. I don't think the front door moved. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. So I think we can roll with that. And it kind of gives the house a little bit more length. So when you look at the site, at the site plan or the site level, the house doesn't look as subdued, and it looks like it's a little bit more substantial than the garage. So we'll stick with doing it that way. All right, so we have our property lines. We have our topo surface, and we may have to VG our topo surface so the property lines show up. I'm not sure if that'll work out or not. Let's see how that works out. All right, so it'll leave the property lines behind, but still in 3D. They're still going to be there. But I think it may have taken out, yeah, it took out our sub-regions. So that presents a real problem because we need those in order to see where the driveway and everything else goes. This is the catch-22 to doing this. So this is why I ordinarily sometimes just use a floor and do that instead. So I don't know. I may want to just remake it using a floor. So don't think I have them turned off. So I think I'm going to use use this one. I'll edit, duplicate. To the structure. It's only going to be 4 inches. I'll use the same material. Concrete cast in place gray. Okay. All right. And I won't be as pretty this time as I did the last time. Let's go a little bit past the property line. Give this about 15 feet. All right, so for the garage section of this, I'm just gonna make a line, go out, give me enough room around my little shed back door here. I'm just gonna follow this along. It's a trim tool. All right, so now the catch 22 to this is that we're gonna have to delete those subregions when we turn this back on. All right, so give myself a little turnaround space here. All right, so the garage door is in the middle, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit more bump out, so I'll be able to turn around. Just pull it down a little bit. Close this up, and my back door, I don't think that it moves either. I'm gonna kind of close this up. So I'm just making some adjustments to this. Let's make it a little bit better. Adjust. So we can make this a 4-foot walk. And we'll do the same thing on the front. So our front door is here. Trim tool. Close it up at the top. And split it over here. And trim again. Alright, so that gives me a walkway, my 2 walkways, and my driveway. Alright, let's check on that. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, so you're gonna have a mix going on here. So we're gonna have to get rid of a few things here. So my driveway is a little bit more toward the house than the previous one that I did. I don't think that's a bad thing. I do believe I'm gonna adjust it just a little bit right here. Okay, I should just put it down even with that. I think it looks better. All right, so that gives me so 10, almost 11 minutes now with just adjustments. All right, so I'll go to the site. All right, so I don't want to turn off the floors because that's actually a floor too, but I do want to hide certain things. Um, Technically, we could just hide the view. So we'll take that off. Wireframe, put it on hidden, and you'll see just the roof line. The only downfall is when we do the setbacks. So let's do that setbacks first. Doesn't make it. Oh, wireframe. Yeah. We'll do the setbacks first. Then we'll turn that off. So we'll just use the dimension tool. So we're at 11 minutes. So I'm gonna see if I can do this in a few. So it's gonna be a one setback. The front is gonna have two, possibly even three. So sometimes you need multiple setbacks so you'll know the distance. Of some of these. All right, so we're not going to do one on the rear, but we are going to do the one from the rear to the garage. And we're going to also do a setback for the garage. So that gives the garage three setbacks, one from the base of the house, one from the property line, one from the rear of the property. All right, so as I mentioned before, you can go ahead and put in some components yourself, such as trees and shrubbery and so forth. I didn't want to spend time on the video doing that, so I'll let you do that yourself. So whichever one that you put in, you are going to, well, you don't necessarily have to label them. So let's see. But you do have to label your driveway. So you have to put some dimensions on that. And your walkway. And depending upon what your scale is going to be, this scale here is set at 1 inch equals 20 feet, which is common for a site plan. Oh, we didn't do the bearings. So these, what we really want to do, we're going to do the dimension across, but we're going to manually write the number in. So that's 152 feet. So we're actually just going to use the text tool. Those numbers in and delete the dimension. The property line doesn't use a traditional dimension. So it's 204. So luckily these are coming out to be in even numbers. Take that and spin it. And it goes on top of the line. Try to give it even as possible, but you don't always want to put it on top of something else that's already there. All right. So you'll do the same thing for the front. You'll do the same thing for the rear. I mean, yeah, for the sides. All right, you see what 16 minutes. All right, so out front, this is the place we'll put a sidewalk. So we'll just use the same tool. So what we're going to do is actually put this sidewalk across our property line because the sidewalk technically is part of your property. All right, so we're going to go back to architecture. We'll do floor. And we'll do rectangle. And I'm going to start it about right here. I'm going to go across. So technically, the driveway kind of cuts through the sidewalk, so I'm going to have to do a little finagling here. And I'm going to do a split on that. And then I'm going to close it up using the trim tool. So I'm going to have two pieces to this. All right. And one thing I forgot to do is actually go too fast. All right. Let's see how much room we got here. Because we have a tree lawn. I don't want to make it too much. Oh, that's about, that's a lot of tree lawn. It's 12 feet. So we can move it down some. I'm going to give it a 4 foot. And we'll give it about 4 feet. 4 feet back. That just almost fit. So 4 feet there, 4 feet here. And we're running on about 20 minutes, so I don't really like to make these longer than 20 minutes. All right. So, you know what? I did a bad thing. I cut it at the wrong spot. So I'm going to take these out. I cut the wrong place. All right, which kind of works out because now I got my right measurements and I can just kind of line up with these points. All right. This will be the street. I'm going to edit this boundary. Pull it up to the property line. All right, so that's my tree lawn. That's my driveway. I mean my sidewalk, driveway, and so forth. So the rest of everything else is pretty much just labeling and putting stuff on. So um, you go to Madison. If you want to put trees and well, you should put trees and stuff in. You can just choose a variety of them. You don't have to put 10,000 trees on a lot. So I'll do a couple of trees in the front yard. Right, so remember, you're going to have bearings on the entire lot, distance in the bearing. So this one's due east, due north. I think the bottom one's going to be due west. Well, this one would be due south then. So, if I'm not mistaken, it flows clockwise. So, this will be west, north, east, south. All right. So I'm gonna end this video right here because I'm at 21 minutes, and then the next one will be how to label your parts of the design.